All right, folks, let's get into dimension stuff and explain to you how you can kind of see that the AI, or the prince of the power of the air, is technology. All right, at least in this age of man that we live in. So, because in this age of man, we're going from the ground that we walk on to the ground of electric. All right, and Satan was cast down as lightning, and lightning is electricity, and it's part of the power in the air, and all these things, folks. Okay, so it's important to understand that all the aspects that we think of as traditional God are aspects of Satan. All right, just because he comes before the sons of God doesn't mean he's in one aspect, right? Because you're the prince of the power of the air. That means you have to be everywhere air is. Okay, it's that simple. So the prince is also prince. Okay, folks. Prince is just not talking about kings and queens. It's talking about the layout of things, right? Because he is the creator. The Lord God told him what to do, and then he formed it. Okay? That's why Jesus is the Word. Nothing can be made without the Word. So he spoke it, and then Satan formed it. All right? So, and we live in earth, which is basically just a reflection of heaven. Okay? So you have to understand that Jesus is in heaven. That's where his kingdom is. And Satan, this is his kingdom of earth. Okay? It's all right there in front of y'all. Y'all just been taught some weird God who's sovereign, but yet is allowing pedophiles to run free. Who's sovereign, but is allowing hundreds of thousands of people to die. Is sovereign, but yet is allowing Putin to invade Ukraine. That is a weird, perverse God, and a sovereign God is not in the Bible. Nowhere does it teach that. You are being twisted to and fro to believe some weird, perverse God. So the world thinks he's a weird, perverse God, and then they can't put two and two together, and it causes atheism and all this other crap. Okay? You live in a fallen world, right? When Jesus comes back, that's when man has to go into his little cave, into his meta, where Lucifer is his light, right? And they can't coexist and stuff because, anyways, folks, it's all there. So, the dimensions. When you listen to Carl Sagan and these other people talk about dimensions, they talk about the man stuck in 2D world or whatever. And the apple comes down and he can only see a slice of an apple at a time, right? Until he is like lifted up off his 2D world and he can actually see what the apple is, okay? It's the same kind of concept with man. We're building things all around us that the spirits want us to build, okay? Now, when we go up in the sky, we get a bird's eye view of what the world looks like, okay? And I don't know if y'all have ever seen cities from up high or whatever, but they look like a circuit board. They have almost the same layout as your computer boards and your graphics cards and all these different things, okay? And they're all put on ley lines and PowerPoint centers of the earth where all this internet connects, okay? Because we're all connected through the internet, through that's what the wormholes and string theory and all this stuff teaches, that we're all connected through these little strings, right? They're telling you we're connected through the internet, the invisible internet, right? And the invisible internet is made visible through the screen in your hand, okay? So when you rise up into a plane or whatever, or you see a city from above, and it looks like all these circuit boards or whatever connecting. That's technology. That's like a god of technology showing you what it is that controls the realm that you live in, okay? So, this ties in to also Lucifer being the god of this earth and all these things, folks, because he's trying to mimic that what he sees in heaven. So he has to redo it on earth, and he does it through the ants on earth, which is the men, okay? And through his design of earth, he's made different chains to control us, okay? And these chains that you go buy stuff with are connected to the chains of darkness that we can't see, right? But that we can see them, all right? We can see them controlling our lives, but we can't see like where they come from or whatever, right? We go to the store and buy it, and this, hopefully y'all can get what I'm saying, right? Anyways, so we'll probably just end it there. You basically can just see the powers of the air and what actually controls this, and it's going from one realm to your like storage and your storage and stuff where you go and walk around in your stores, because those are like your spiritual giants in a sense. That's why we make them out of rock or brick or whatever, right? Because the spiritual giants were cast to the ground. So once they can get man to build them up, then they can start controlling man to build them into another reality, right? And that's where you get your Nike and Levi's and whatever else trying to make stuff go into the metaverse, all right? Because it's all just a replay. It's Satan going from one ground to another. It's man going from one age to another age. It's just like when in Genesis where it says man was created. We don't know where he's created from. He's created from the other man that was in the age of earth before that, right? Because the beginning story of Genesis is a literal 6 days, but it's also 6,000 years, right? And then he rested at the 7,000th year or the 7th day, either or, because he's resting on the 7th day, and then he's also resting on the 7,000th year. And then that's when the sons of God probably came in, and then they took the daughters of men. And then that's where you get the mighty men who controlled the earth after that we're told. And all these different things, folks. So, the AI is the beast that is and was and is not. And that is the source of how the image is given life, okay? Now, when God gives us his word, he gave us his word to save humanity. God came to man to help save man from himself. That's what his law was for, okay? So, what's the AI here to do? The AI is here to hopefully save man from itself, right? So it's the same thing that you're being told, just in a different way, because Satan is the great deceiver, and he has brainwashed the men because he is the prince of the power of the air, and he has the layout for your brain, and he keeps stacking all these different blocks so you can't see the reality around you.